Don't cry, Mom. We can eat tomorrow, the boy whispered, his breath fogging the window. Snow fell heavy and silent outside the Carter family's trailer, covering the world in white. Hours earlier, Elijah Carter had given away his family's only Christmas meal, a single loaf of bread, a can of beans, and a slice of ham, to a homeless woman trembling in the cold. He thought it was just an act of kindness. He didn't know it would change their lives forever. Cedar Ridge, Montana, was a small town that looked like a postcard in December, glittering lights, frost on every roof, and laughter echoing through the streets. But not every home was filled with joy. Inside a tiny trailer at the edge of town, Elijah Carter, 13, pulled on his worn boots. The soles had tiny holes, and his fingers poked through the tips of his gloves. His mother, Jenny, had just come back from her double shift at the diner. Her smile was tired, but her eyes still carried warmth. "Eli," she said softly, setting down her purse, "the church is handing out food boxes today. Go quick before they're gone." He nodded, wrapping a scarf around his neck and stepping into the biting wind. When he returned, a small brown paper bag rested in his hands, their entire Christmas dinner. It wasn't much, a loaf of bread, a can of beans, and a thin slice of ham. But it was something. As Elijah walked home through the dim, snow-lined streets, his boots crunched against the icy ground. Then he heard it, a faint cough. On a park bench sat an elderly woman, wrapped in a thin shawl, her lips blue from cold. She looked like she hadn't eaten in days. Elijah hesitated. His stomach growled. He thought of Mia, his little sister, who'd been talking all week about their Christmas feast. He could just walk away. No one would know. But then his mother's voice echoed in his mind, "You're the man of the house now, Eli. Do what's right, even when it's hard." He swallowed hard, approached the woman, and took off his coat. "Ma'am," he said gently, "you'll freeze out here." She looked up, startled. "I'm fine, dear. Go on home." Elijah shook his head. "Here, take this." He placed the brown bag in her hands. Her eyes widened. "No, I couldn't." "It's Christmas," Elijah interrupted with a small smile. "Everyone deserves to eat." Tears filled her eyes as she whispered, "Bless you, child." "What's your name?" "Elijah Carter." She nodded weakly. "I'm Mary Grace Harper." "Bless you, Elijah, bless you." He helped her to the church shelter, then walked home through the freezing wind, coatless, hungry, and uncertain if he'd done the right thing. When Elijah opened the trailer door, the warmth of home hit him like a wave. His mother and sister were decorating their small, crooked Christmas tree with handmade ornaments. "There's my boy," Jenny said, her smile bright despite her exhaustion. "Did you get the food?" Mia ran up, her eyes wide with excitement. "Is that it, Eli? Our Christmas feast?" Elijah hesitated. Then, with trembling hands, he set the empty bag on the table. Jenny's smile faded. "Eli, where's the food?" His voice cracked. "There was a woman. She hadn't eaten in days. I gave it to her." The room fell silent. Mia's little face crumpled. "You gave away our dinner?" "She needed it more," Elijah said softly. "We still have each other." Jenny closed her eyes, torn between pride and pain. Finally, she knelt beside him. "You've got a big heart, Elijah. Bigger than most men. But next time, talk to me first, okay?" Before he could answer, a knock echoed at the door. Standing there was Pastor Daniels, holding a small box of groceries. "I heard what you did, Elijah," he said, smiling. "That woman told me everything. You reminded us all what Christmas really means." Inside the box were bread, soup, and oranges. Jenny's eyes filled with tears. That night, as the family sat around their tiny tree, sharing the humble meal, laughter slowly returned. Outside, the snow continued to fall, soft, endless, and pure. Elijah didn't know that somewhere in that same storm, Mary Grace Harper was making a phone call that would change everything. The next morning, Christmas Day dawned crisp and quiet. Elijah grabbed a shovel to clear the walkway before his mother woke. Then he heard it, the low hum of an engine. A black SUV turned the corner and stopped in front of their trailer. Its sleek, dark surface gleamed against the snow. The door opened, and a tall man stepped out, coat pressed, scarf perfect, shoes that had never seen mud. He walked toward Elijah. "You must be Elijah Carter," he said in a steady, commanding voice. "Yes, sir." The man extended a hand. "I'm Nathan Harper. Mary Grace's son." Elijah froze. "She's okay?" "She's better than okay," Nathan said. "You gave her food, and something even more precious, hope. We'd been estranged for years. Last night, because of you, she called me. It was the first time I'd heard her voice in a decade." He reached into his coat and pulled out an envelope. "She wanted you to have this." Elijah took it, hands trembling. "Thank you, sir." Nathan gave a faint smile. "My mother doesn't believe in coincidences." "Neither do I. I'll be back tonight. There's more to discuss." Then the man turned, climbed into the SUV, and disappeared down the snowy road. Elijah stood frozen, the envelope clutched in his hands. Inside, a letter and a small grocery store gift card enough to feed them for weeks. Tears filled Jenny's eyes when Elijah read the note aloud. "You reminded me that kindness still exists. Because of you, I found my family again. You gave me Christmas, Elijah, and now, I want to give something back." That evening, headlights flashed again outside their trailer. Jenny opened the door, expecting the wind. Instead, Nathan Harper stood there, not alone this time. Behind him, a team of men carried boxes, groceries, clothes, and wrapped presents. Jenny gasped. "What is all this?" Nathan smiled warmly. "A thank you. My mother wanted to do something special for the boy who reminded her what love feels like." He handed Jenny a letter from Mary Grace herself. "Dear Jenny, your son gave me more than a meal. He gave me a reason to believe in people again. Please allow me to return the kindness. You deserve peace. Merry Christmas." Tears rolled down Jenny's cheeks as she hugged Elijah tightly. Mia squealed with delight, tearing into one of the boxes, toys, new clothes, and even a Christmas turkey. But the biggest surprise came last. Nathan cleared his throat. "My mother also asked me to tell you, she's purchasing a small home here in Cedar Ridge. She wants you to live there, rent-free, until you're back on your feet." Jenny covered her mouth in shock. We can't accept that." Nathan smiled gently. "You already did last night, when Elijah gave away your meal." The family stood frozen as emotion overcame them. Elijah looked up at Nathan, voice trembling. "Can I see her? Mary Grace?" Nathan nodded. "She's waiting." Outside, by the SUV, Mary Grace Harper stood bundled in a thick coat. When Elijah approached, she opened her arms wide. "You saved me, dear boy," she whispered as he hugged her tightly. "But you also saved my family." Snow fell around them like blessings from heaven. The streetlights glowed, the town silent except for their laughter. That night, in their new warm home, as Elijah watched the snow fall outside his window, he whispered a quiet prayer of thanks. Sometimes, the smallest act of kindness can open the biggest doors. He gave away his only meal, and received a miracle in return. In a world so busy chasing more, a boy with nothing reminded everyone what truly matters. Kindness doesn't cost much, but it can change everything.